Excited by the setting spray. I just broke a mirror. Hey y'all, so I was just sitting here and I was thinking to myself, I was a little bored and I was like, I haven't done a get ready with me, like talk through style in a while. I was like, well, I guess I'll talk about my whole roommate situation when I first moved here to Baltimore. But let's get to what I've prepped my skin with already. I used first my H2O Beauty Illuminating Serum. And this is the Water Bright Serum. I just put this on because it has a little glow in it. And I just love the glow that it adds to my skin. And right after that, I'm going to go ahead and use the Derma E. What is it? This is Rosehip and Cranberry Face Oil. I love it for the same purposes. It just gives my skin a nice glow. And I noticed that my foundation, my concealer, just goes on like a dream when I use these two things together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyes today. So the first thing I'm going to use is this Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. And I'm going to go ahead and prime my whole eyelid today. I don't think I'm using my concealer because honestly, after this video is done, I'm just going to the nail shop and get a pedicure and shopping to get some last minute things for my cousin's wedding next week. So yeah, I'm just going to pat this all over the eyelid. So as you can see in the title, we are going to be talking about my roommate situation. Now, as I said in the intro, for everyone who don't know, I am originally from Detroit, but I moved to Baltimore about 4 going on 5 years now. Wow, it's been a long time. Anyways, when I first moved here, the only person I knew here was my girlfriend. At the time, though, I was in school and I wanted to stay on campus. Now, I didn't realize being out of state that staying on campus was going to be just a really extra added expense. And, you know, I don't come from a rich family, so I just did not have the money and expense to do something like that. And I'm going in with my Saharan palette by Juvia's Place. And the first color I'm going to start in as our transition is the color Jamila, which is this beautiful color right here. I first moved here, I had to get a roommate. Just because at the time, it was just not a ideal time for me and my girlfriend to live together. Plus, I wanted a little bit of that independence still. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get a roommate and I'm just going to stay off campus. I was like, I'm just going to stay with a roommate. Now, mind you, I was only 19 years old. Now, mind you, I was only 19 years old and I was like, oh my gosh, kind of nervous with the whole roommate situation, of course, like any 19-year-old would be. I had never lived anywhere but my mom's house, but I was like, you know, I want to be here. I wanted to really move to Baltimore and I just was gonna make it the best of the situation. So I went on this website. I'm pretty sure it was like roommates.com or something like that. I really honestly cannot remember. So I went on the website and I found a roommate and it was perfect because she lived like really close to my school. She lived really close to my girlfriend and it was just like an ideal situation. She worked like 2 jobs. She said she would hardly ever even be there. And she had a room for rent. She had like a 3-bedroom house. And it was just like perfect because she charged me like, I only think like $400 a month or something. And yeah, things were just really ideal and things were going really great. Like I said, she worked 2 jobs and she was barely there. So like we only saw each other really kind of in passing because I was in school. Shortly after, I started working at Sephora. So I'm working at Sephora, and then any other time I was just spending it with my girlfriend at the time. So the next color I'm going to use is Chad, which is this black color here. No, actually, I'm going to go in with Sokoto first and add a little more definition. The roommate situation was working out to be so ideal, to be so perfect, and I just really couldn't see how things could have got bad, but of course they did. So I started to notice that we had very different personality types, which, I mean, I kind of somewhat expected because, like I said, I was 19 and this woman was like 33 years old. So I knew that there was going to be certain things that were a little different. Ooh, the color is so pretty. I don't even know where I'm going with this look, y'all. I really, really don't. I'm just going to the nail salon after this, and I'm going to be like, now I'm going to go in with that color Chad, which is just the black color I just showed y'all. Well, I started to notice that things were a little different, that we were different. And when I say we were different, like, I don't know, like she just kind of really got a little weird. She would allow certain people in the house that I would never hang around. The environment often felt a little bit unsafe, but at the time it was like I definitely did not want to have to go back home to admit that failure. Nor did I want to run to my girlfriend either, so I just kind of stuck out the situation, so to speak, and you know, make the best of the situation, you know, because I was like, I'm already here, I make the best of the situation. So one particular person that she was dealing with, her boyfriend at the time, whatever you want to call it, because we don't tell the truth, we don't tell the story, I'm gonna tell the truth. So her boyfriend just happened to be engaged to a whole nother woman. Different story for a different day though. And he was just a very shady dude. Like this dude, I don't know, you know when someone walks around you or they're around you and you like get like this bad vibe from them, like you always feel this bad vibe. I'm gonna go back in with the color Sokoto and I just wanna bring it up again, bring it up a notch, make sure we're not losing that color. But I always got a really bad vibe from this dude. So I was like, I don't know why I get like such a horrible vibe from this dude or whatever. But fast a little bit forward. So when I first moved there, I wasn't working immediately. That's what happened. I wasn't working immediately because I had just moved there. So I was depending on I was getting a refund check and that was gonna make up my rent. And I didn't realize that my refund check was gonna be getting there late. So it made my rent late. So I had to pay, I think like 2 months worth of rent because I was like a month and a half behind. Well, anyways, I'm like, okay, you know, as soon as I get my refund check, you know, of course I got you. She said, no problem, you know, no issues. I understand. You just moved here, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. So I give her $700. I can't remember. I think like $100 of it was like a deposit or something like that. Like that's what she was charging me for my deposit. So I give her the money and I'm like, okay, thanks, you know, thanks for being so likesy daisy about it and really helping me out, whatever, right? And she's like, no problem, no problem, no problem. Take the color Would It Be. And I just remember like the day before waking up to her literally screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, she's just screaming. And I walk in her room, or I think I walk out in the hallway to figure out, you know, like, what's going on. And she just starts to scream over and over again, the money is gone. Oh my God, the money is gone. The money is gone. And I'm like, the money? What money? And she's like, the rent money you gave me is gone. And immediately, like, I just start to panic because here I am, like I said, I'm in a whole nother state. I'm in a whole nother situation. Oh, why did I just wipe like that? I did not even know. Okay, I'll clean it up in a minute. But here I am in this whole, you know, a whole nother situation. And I am just so panicked about everything, right? I'm so panicked. And the first thing I think is, you know, oh my God, is she going to accuse me of stealing this money? Now, of course, I did not steal the money because why would I steal money from myself? I just would have never, you know, given the rent. If that was my intentions or anything like that, to be shady, whatever, just would have never given her the rent money, right? So luckily, she did not accuse me because she was like, well, I put this money in a specific place, and this specific place, only one person knew where this money was at. And guess who it was, y'all? Who knew? The boyfriend. So she ends up having to take out like a payday loan or whatever. I mean, I didn't feel bad about not helping because I felt like I already had gave my portion of the money. And I mean, I don't know, like I was a broke college student. I only worked at Sephora making like $9 an hour. I didn't have, you know, money to just throw away like that. And, you know, with my refund check, the other half, I was gonna, you know, pay a couple of more months of rent off so I wouldn't have that burden over my head or whatever, you know? And yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm just so happy that she's gonna figure it out. But anyways, this was just like kind of the beginning of all hell going wrong with this roommate. Okay, so of course, after this situation happened, she ends up, I'm just adding more of the black in because I'm not satisfied with it. She ends up breaking up with this dude, okay? Like she definitely rightfully should. So she ends up breaking up with him, and you know, she starts fast forward dating someone else. And I'm like, okay, great. Because it's another shady character. And this particular character, I don't know. He did really weird things. Like she had pit bulls and she was all like pro, like animal lover or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she would let this dude come over and he would literally fight with his pit bulls. Okay, I'm taking the Schwing liner by the Balm. And I'm just going to go ahead and do my wing off camera real quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish my eyes when I'm done with my face. This is what it looks like so far. But I'm going to go on with my Anastasia Contour Cream Kit, and I use the color Deep. I'm going to go on with that corally color as my corrector. I remember when this palette was like the funny how things go in and out of trend. Everybody had this palette. Now, like, I barely see people picking it up, including myself. But I was like, this corrector, it used to be bum on me, so I'm going to go back to it. I take it all the way around my mouth because I just have really a lot of darkness right there. But getting back to the story and the situation. So this guy was even more sketchier than the first guy. And this guy is actually how we get to the third roommate, because before I left, there ended up, mind you, it was only me and her at this time. There ended up being 3 of us. Now, of course, I understand that people have rules for their house, rules, regulations for their house, everything like that. I totally understand that. One of the things that we discussed on was no overnight guests. And she was like, you know, even though this is my home, whatever, I would never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. So, you know, the same will apply to me. Of course, she was like the first person to break that rule, of course. And I mean, for the most part, I was cool with it because me and my girlfriend, we didn't do overnight stays. We just would see each other in the day. And when we were staying overnight somewhere, it's because we were going on vacation, whatever. So I really didn't care about it, but it was just like little shit like that, you know, start to kind of like make you go like, okay, I see how we're doing this. I'm going to mix 2 foundations. I'm using the 360 Fit Me by Maybelline, and I'm also using my Double Wear, big old giant bottle of Double Wear, in the color 6C1 Rich Cocoa. I did this yesterday. I really like the results, so I'm going to do it again today, and I'm going to apply it with a Real Techniques Beauty Blender. But while I'm getting this mixed up, so she just started to do little stuff like that, and that will just start to annoy me and agitate me. So anyway, through this guy, she ends up meeting another guy, which I guess is like his homeboy or whatever. And she meets his homeboy, and he has this girl that he's dating, which is the third roommate. Now, at the time when the third roommate came about, what I was told is that they were friends. Like, they had been friends for years. Because she asked me my opinion. She told me this girl was from Florida. She had a daughter. She basically was going to be homeless. And she just needed, you know, to get away from Florida. She needed some help. This was her friend from years. But she wanted to ask me how I felt. And I was like, well, you know, I mean, if this is your friend for years, this is your house, I can't really determine who stays in and out your house. Plus, she had a kid. So I'm just like, you know, of course, you know, I don't have a problem with them staying here. You know, it really didn't bother me. Because I'm like, okay, you know, she's just another mom. How bad could the situation be? Like, how bad of a roommate could she be, right? Okay, so everything was cool for a couple of weeks. Like, everything be, you know, everything is cool. Everything is just Gucci. And it was a nice living situation. And I just think the little girl being there just kind of, in a way, calmed things down, because everybody is a little bit more apprehensive about what they want to do and what kind of behavior they want to have when they know that the child is present. You know, people just tend to want to be on their best behavior because you do have a child that is watching every little thing you do. So of course things started to sour and go left, and things really started to go sour and go left when I just kind of felt as though it just kind of became those two against me. And what I mean about those two against me, like, we did not have like a set how we did groceries. Everyone did their own shopping. Everyone purchased their own groceries. Everyone did all of this on their own. Now, I was again a college student and I was living off campus and I did not have, you know, family, relatives, anything like that. So I did a lot of cooking at home, which means I went to the grocery store a lot. And, you know, just at this time, I was very, very humble. I was using that orange EBT card. Sure was. And yeah, you know, just to make sure that I had groceries because I was just a broke college student working at Sephora. And I would not care about, you know, who touched my groceries. I would also even cook meals, and I wouldn't care about, you know, if you're hungry, eat the meal. Just was no big deal to me. It started to be a huge deal to my first original roommate about, she even hung something on the refrigerator, and it was like, if you don't buy it, don't touch it, don't touch my things, don't touch this, don't touch that, don't touch my cups, and don't touch my forks, and don't. She just really starts to get really petty. So this like started to piss me off because, again, the only other roommate situation I was in was my first college roommate from the year previously, and we didn't have all this, you know, beef and issues or anything like that. So this was just very new and very, very odd and strange to me. So at this point, I was just kind of like, you know, when you feel yourself trying to get into the end of that rope where you're like, I'm gonna have to find me somewhere else to be. And this was definitely this point for me. And what really like, what's the term they say, like broke the straw on the camel's back? I'm using my Glamoflauge concealer. I have a whole review on this. It's a $6 concealer. I'll link it above. And yeah, so what really broke it for me is when she accused me of like, was putting out some, she was putting out some ribs or something. These were my ribs. So I was like, well, if you want to be petty like that, you want to have all these regulations. I'm like, why are you putting out my stuff and throwing my stuff? And I put it back in the freezer. And she called the attitude like, this is my stuff and I bought this. And like, I'm like, bitch, no, I got the receipts. I had to dig in a trash can for that receipt, y'all. But let me tell you something. When mama got the receipts, I got the receipt. So I surely did. I digged in a trash can for that receipt. And of course, she's like, no, it's not that big of a deal. No, it's that big of a deal. You're going to look at this receipt and you're going to see that you're wrong. But yeah, like we would just start to get into it over the most pettiest stuff. And I was just like, okay, it's time for me to go. I felt like they were just ganging up on me. And, you know, then like one day I remember coming home and I could hear her and she was in there and she was talking about me to this guy. And she was just saying how I was using her groceries and losing her dishes and how, you know, she didn't like how I left hair in the bathroom and just a whole bunch of nonsense, y'all. And I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to make my exit because I felt myself getting like enraged with this person. So then the next thing you know, right? It gets kind of cold outside, whatever. So, so then I have it a point that my next refund check that comes, because I remember that because it was getting cold, I was going to go ahead and move out and get my own apartment. So I was waiting for my refund check to come. This time I was working at Sephora. I was not working seasonally anymore. They hired me on full time. I was a color artist. So it was just, you know, it was doing much, much, much better for me. And things were looking up and I was going to be able to afford my own place finally. And I remember another friend came. This ended up being like the fourth unofficial roommate, right? And her name was, well, I didn't give nobody a name, so I don't know this lady's name. But the fourth roommate came, right? Now the fourth roommate had a little bit of trouble. She had a little bit of troubles. She had a little bit of demons, drug demons. And, you know, I'm fine with that. You know, I believe everybody can be redeemed and, you know, given another chance, and you never know people's lives or whatever. But she said she'd been clean for like 4 years, and I was like, okay, you know, hopefully She don't do anything. She don't try anything, whatever. It never actually happened, which was cool. But what did happen is we found a crack rock in our house. And it actually did not belong to who y'all might have thought it belonged to. It did not belong to the fourth roommate. It was my speculation between me and the third roommate that it was the first roommate's. And that is when I definitely was like, I'm getting out of here. So the third roommate ends up finding it, and she decides that she is going to confront the original person whose house it belonged to. They get into this argument, almost got physical. The living room table ended up getting broken. And this is when I was just like, you know, this living situation has went from bad to worse. At this time in my life, I felt like I was living in an episode of Jerry Springer. Like, this was the craziest living situation. And it just really broke me down because, oh my God, for the last couple of years, I had been like living with my grandma, and then we ended up moving out of there, and then I had to go off to school and move in there, and then I ended up leaving school and moving to Maryland, and it was like, here I am, you know, making another move. And from like 14 to 19, it was like a very unstable, well, not 14 to 19, maybe like 16 to 19. It was very, very, very unstable as far as my moving situation. Like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set my highlighted areas with my little trick that I taught y'all. I just take the Ben Nye Final Seal, I spray it on my beauty blender a few times. Look and make sure that there are no creases happening already. If there are creases happening, just take another little brush and tap them out, because when you put this final seal on, it is literally going to be it. It's going to be the final seal. With a roommate for nobody. I mean, I know that sometimes that's just not going to be ideal. Like, you may have to have a roommate, but y'all, the shit was crazy, okay? I was just like, this gotta be a joke. I gotta be living in a third world for all of this to be coming on. I would say definitely try to only roommate with people that you know, if possible, or like try to do it like through like someone you like, maybe someone you know is renting out a room or whatever. So yeah, I didn't use any highlighting powder. If y'all are wondering, I did not use any highlighting powder at all. I just went right in with that final seal, and that's just what's gonna hold my concealer in place all day. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to use my Ebony Bronze by CoverGirl, and I'm just gonna go ahead and contour out my cheeks, start sculpting. But y'all, yeah, because when that roommate situation happened, like I thought my college roommate got on my nerves, and she did. But compared to this roommate situation in my adulthood, I was like, I would have had my college roommate a million times before roommate 1, 2, and unofficial roommate number 3. Okay, I went ahead and added my lashes too. I'm using lashes from Vegas Nay Grand Glamours. They are so old, so I didn't even want y'all to see me putting them on. I'm going to take the color Sokoto, which is the color that is right here in my transition. And I'm going to put that on my bottom waterline. And I'm being real careful since I've already done my face. I don't want to mess up my under eye too bad. So I'm just dabbing it on. I just really wanted to add a little bit of pop down there. And I'm already on my waterline. So the waterline is where you see the black. Lower lash line is where I'm putting this orange. And it's a little bold. So I'm going to smudge it out, I think, with a little bit of the Chad, which is the black. My highlighter, I'm going to take the highlighter that everyone and their mother keeps ranting, raving, and raging about, including me. This is the Molten Gold Master Chrome by Maybelline. Y'all, this is so pretty. Wait till y'all see this. I'm going to let y'all get up in on this. Hold on. Do a little smile. Yeah. Ooh. Flaky. This highlighter is so gorgeous. Like, it's like, ah. Morphe is the Morphe E1 brush. It's just a really big face brush. And it just helps me get everything together. Once I'm done, I'm taking my setting spray by Blue Marble. This is Colourpop Rooch that I'm putting on the lips right now. And now I'm just taking a LA Girl Flat Finish Pigment Gloss in the color Black Currant. So dramatic. And now I have to use my Violet Boss palette as a mirror because I broke my mirror. Thank God I don't believe in that bad luck, Jazz. Because I've broken 3 mirrors this entire year. And this is right after I said I don't want anything dramatic. Yep, go ahead and put on the most dark lip you can find. This look is perfect for fall though. With the dark hair. So this is the final look. I hope that y'all really enjoyed this style of tutorial, this style of video. I really enjoyed creating this look. If you did enjoy, I would so love if you thumbs up this video, and if you thumb it up, that means you like it, so someone else might like it, so you might as well share it. Just go ahead and click that share button because, yeah, somebody else might like it. And if you really liked it and you ain't subscribed yet, I mean, come on, I'm judging you if you like the video but you're not subscribed. I don't understand. So you might as well go ahead and press subscribe before you go. And also follow me on all my social media channels. All the information, as always, is down below. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, stay pretty.